How's it going, everyone? Session here. Welcome back to Who the F Did I Marry? We are now currently checking out part three. Apparently, part three was something that we had to search for. I don't know why that was the case scenario, but chances are that video must have gotten taken down or something. And so this is like a re-upload of the video just in case of anything. So we'll try to go back to the original video. The quality for this one might be a little bit on the lower side. Just keep in mind with that. To quickly recap what we've known so far. Tessa basically has been on a date as of March 4th, 3 days later. Or sorry, she met her, husband at March 4th. 3 days later, they go on a first date, Cheesecake Factory, tire blows out, he pays for the tire, and then he basically moves in with her, as a result of the first date. Now, the kind of scary thing about this is that he had a studio and she had a house, and she was paying for her own house, obviously. And I guess he basically made it very clear to her that he wants to marry her in every way, shape, and form. And was trying to provide documentation about what loan he had to cover the cost of the house. He plans to move in with her in a house, and it's only been I'm guessing 30-ish days of them even just knowing each other, and now they want to move in together because of the quarantine situation. This happened in 2020. So, part three.
All right, part three. Who the fuck did I marry?
Ooh, and there's
So
subtitles.
this is when he showed me a letter from Chase with the Chase logo at the top, stating that he had been approved for a mortgage for a $750,000 mortgage or a
Okay.
$750,000 house. So he was like, we can't go over 750.
Okay.
And I said, I remember asking him, can you afford the mortgage on a $750,000 house? Because I know I can't. This is when he explains to me, I told you how I played arena football. I invested my money really well. So he said, I have money that will help pay for the mortgage. He was like, we're good.
Huh.
Financially, I am okay. He was like, that's why I'm able to get approved for $750,000 mortgage. So he told me that his money was in different savings accounts. He said he had an
Nah.
account with Chase Bank, he had an account with US Bank, and he had an offshore account. This is what he told me.
What in the
The offshore
world?
account, I was like, why? And he explained something about, oh, the US, excuse me, the US imposes taxes on money when you have a certain amount in US banks. He was like, so everybody knows that it's smart to have some money in an offshore account. Y'all, look, I live paycheck to paycheck. I was like, okay, that's whatever. I said, so you have the money um, to pay for a home. I'm also holding in my hand a letter from Chase saying that he was approved for $750,000.
Okay.
So I went off of what I saw. So we contacted a realtor. I won't say his name, but man, if he ever sees this TikTok, I owe this man such an apology. But we contacted a realtor who was based in Cobb County because I was very adamant I wanted to move back to Marietta, Smyrna area in Cobb County, Georgia. He was fine with that. His whole attitude was, you're going to be my wife, happy life. So we met a
That's the
realtor.
motto.
I would find houses that I wanted to tour. Keep in mind that this was COVID. So at the time, we could not tour a home. It would have to be a
Oh,
virtual
virtual
tour.
tour.
So this particular
Okay.
realtor, we found a house in Douglasville, Georgia. Not Cobb County, but
They
nevertheless,
got the
it's in
Zillow link in there
Douglasville.
too? Okay.
I was fine with Douglasville. So we
That's a
found
nice
a house
house.
in Douglasville, Georgia. The realtor did a FaceTime tour of the house.
Mm-hmm.
The house was a nice home. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. So we did a
I might move to
FaceTime
Georgia.
tour of the
Hey, yo.
home, and the home was listed, I believe, roughly 400 and something thousand. I really like the house. I could see myself living there. I could see us living there. Could see us with the kid there. This is
Mm-hmm.
now April, just for
Okay.
timeline purposes. This is April. he really liked the house. He was like, you know what, we'll put an offer in on the house. He was like, if you like it, because again, it was COVID, we weren't going to be able to see the house in person because
Mm-hmm.
the family still lived there.
Oh, I see.
So he said, I'll put an offer in. We'll see if it's accepted. I said, okay. So he puts an offer in. He's telling me he put an offer in. I need to clarify some things he told me and the things that I actually saw. So for this house in Douglasville, he told me he was putting an offer in.
Uh-huh.
The realtor would call me because one thing that the realtor told us, he was like, if the woman likes the house, typically the house is going to get bought. So he kind of dealt with me a
Okay.
bit more than he did my ex-husband. Um, and again, this is April 2020. This is before we got married. So at
Okay.
the time, he was my boyfriend.
Okay.
So the realtor was calling me and it was like, hey, I put the offer in, and what they're asking for is proof of funds.
Ooh.
And I know I did not know anything at this time about buying a house. So I was like, hey, you probably need to talk to him because I'm not even listed on the mortgage. Like, from the paperwork I saw,
Oh.
it was only in his name.
Okay.
So
That's scary.
he called him. I guess they talked. I was not there, um, but I'm assuming that they had talked. So the boyfriend is coming, my ex is coming home saying, yeah, I talked to so and so. I sent him over the paperwork. The offer was approved, and they are going to try to do a virtual closing. First, we got to do an inspection. If the
Mm-hmm.
inspection goes all well, then we have to do a virtual closing. He also told me that he put down earnest money on the home. He put down, I believe, 5,000. He said, I just transferred the money over to the realtor's account or
Okay.
whatever,
Uh-huh.
so that it could be earnest money for the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, okay, great. He was like, so realistically, this is April. We should be able to get in that house by June.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. So
Hmm.
this is what he told me. About 3 or 4 days later, I get a phone call from the realtor, and the realtor is like, "Hey, I'm just checking to see what you guys want to do about that house." So I was confused. I'm at work, and I
What?
said, "Oh, I was told that he put an offer in," and the realtor was like, "He did? I didn't know that he put an offer in." And
Wait,
I said, "Well,
what?
why wouldn't you know? Like, he told me he put the offer in, and he had paid earnest money, $5,000 earnest money." And so the realtor was like, "Well, let me call him and find out what's going on with that, because I didn't know anything about it." So red flag, of course.
Wait,
So I call
what?
him.
How does he lie about something like that though? Because I feel like at that point you would. That's complicated almost because I feel like if they're trying to get a house, like he also gave timestamp dates, right? He's like, oh, April. They put that offer in. It should be good to go by June. I feel like all that evidence should be like at least stamped and receipted like somewhere.
And he, in true narcissistic nature, he flips the script and he like goes off. He's like cussing, going off, like he shouldn't. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. He shouldn't be calling you. If he has a question, he should call me because I'm the one that's on the mortgage.
Hmm.
He was like, and now it's going to be an issue. And I said, well, did you put the offer in with him or not? And he said, no, I did not put the offer in with him. I put the offer in with a friend of mine who is a realtor, so I can give
What
him the
the?
business.
Huh?
So,
Wait. So then why would he? No, that's such a weird way to go about it because he literally told her that he spoke to the person that was showcasing the house. So how's he gonna give money to somebody else entirely different that's got nothing to do with the house? Like what? That's already very, yeah, to her point being a red flag, that's extremely shady. Cause literally the fact that he gave her that reassurance, like, oh, I did this, and so we're good, and then like completely left her in a situation where she was had nothing to be worried about, you know. But now that he lied to her about that, and that's already after like a month of them being like together and looking for like if he already lied at this point, how in the world was there another 50 parts of this going on? You know what I mean? Okay, that's
I did not hear from that realtor again. So I was just like, is the house under contract or is it not? He was like, yes, the house is under contract. This is how crazy things work out. About 3 days later, on Realtor.com, I'm looking at the house because I was trying to figure out in my mind how I'm gonna decorate. It shows the house is under contract.
okay.
So, showed my boyfriend. My boyfriend's like, I told you it was under contract. He was like, I like, did you not believe me? And I ain't had the heart to say, hell no, I didn't believe you. Like, it seemed too good to be true.
Yeah.
But once I saw the house was under contract, I absolutely believe that, okay, it's under contract with him. Like, yeah, we're about to do inspection. We are about to move. Um,
Hmm.
and so we had driven by the house because, again, keep in mind, a family's still living there.
Yeah.
So we had driven by the house. At this point, he was like, I want us to start looking for furniture so that way we can go ahead and order it. So when it's time to move, the furniture is ready because, you know, it takes like 6 to 8 weeks sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
for furniture to be delivered if they don't have it in stock. Like, he was very methodical and planning and saying, this is what we need to do. So we started going to Home Depot, Lowe's, because we had a printout of what the sellers were going to take. They were going to take the appliances.
Mm-hmm.
He had a printout. Let me be clear. He had a printout. So it said on there that they were going to take the appliances. So we needed to get a new stove, new refrigerator, new microwave, all that stuff. So we went to Home
Mm-hmm.
Depot and Lowe's, and I went ham. I chose all these new appliances, and here's where we get into the shopping.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. So the this is the first time I think where the red flag really gets highlighted because he basically proclaimed that he put the contract underneath for the house and then tried to do it through a different person, and then there were two different realtor agents involved in it even though it's usually only under one. And so for him to make the offer and then have it not be done through the person that they were both talking to, like obviously the people selling the house have the same agent as the person that's trying to convince people to buy the house, so like there aren't going to be multiple people really working on this. I mean, I don't think so, at least, right? So the fact that he already got put in a red flag situation a month in their dating life where they tried to get a house together is already like screaming issue, right? So okay, we'll see. Part 4 coming at you very soon. Take care.